Is buying a 10-year-old BMW with over 130,000 miles on the clock a bad idea? Will it be a massive money pit? Well, this time on Road and Race, how much I've spent repairing my 5 Series. In the last episode, I finished off the last of the repairs on my high mileage 5 Series by replacing the gearbox cooler, water pump and repairing the rear washer hose. In this video I'm going to go through all my receipts and detail exactly how much I've spent repairing this BMW 5 Series. Obviously I've done all the work myself, so I'll also make an estimate as to how much BMW or an independent garage would charge you to do the work. Before we start, this week's video is sponsored by BOTB.com. They are the dream car competition company, and for this week only, they're giving you a chance of winning a supercar. You could win a Lamborghini, McLaren, Aston Martin, Ferrari, or a Porsche for just a couple of pounds. BOTB.com have given away over £32 million worth of cars since 1999, and this week's a bit special because they've taken all the normal cars out of their lineup and they've replaced it with just 8 supercars. So basically, one person's guaranteed to win a supercar this week. Entry starts from about £2. And at £3.20 a ticket, my choice is the stunning Porsche 911 GT3 RS. You'll need to hurry because this competition closes midnight, Sunday 3rd of May. Click the special link in the description box to enter. So let's start with previous maintenance. Before diving into what I've spent on this car, I think it's interesting to give it a context about how well this car was looked after. So I'll just quickly summarise what's been done to the car before I bought it. Well, not much. Apart from engine oil changes every 20,000 miles or so, we've only got receipts for looks like one major set of repairs, all at 88,000 miles. So we're at 130,000 miles now, so this was a while ago. The glow plugs and control unit, the differential was leaking, so the seal was replaced. The AUC sensor, fuel filter, and the ride height compressor for the rear air suspension. That's actually quite a common fault on this car apparently. It's good that it's been replaced because it's £800 alone for the part from BMW. So not really that much been spent on the car, or at least no receipts of what's been spent on the car. Anyway, on to what I've spent. Repairs. I've split the video into 4 sections, so we'll start with repairs, then we'll move on to maintenance, and then all the consumables, and then all the cosmetic work I've done to the car. So starting with the repairs. I've defined this as everything that was broken on the car when I bought it. First I'll start with the cooling system. This is one of the common faults on this car, and a lot of BMWs actually as well. There are between 2 and 3 thermostats. There's 3 on this car because I have the automatic gearbox. And when they fail, the engine and gearbox don't get up to operating temperature, and so that can reduce the life of them. Because it's a mechanical fault, not an electrical fault, you don't get any warning lights on the dashboard or any fault codes on the engine, so you really have to be looking for it to kind of find it. This isn't helped by the fact there's no temperature gauge for the engine on the dashboard. Anyway, the EGR thermostat was £29, engine thermostat £32, gearbox heat exchanger was £92. Whilst I was there, I also cleaned the EGR valve, so that's £9 for degreaser, and then to fill up the car with brand new coolant was £26. Moving on to another common fault with this car, the DPF. Anyone who's watched my videos in the past has seen me rattle on about this over and over again, but DPF is the diesel particulate filter, and that filters out some nasty stuff from your exhaust. 125,000 miles, you get a code on the computer saying that it's nearly full. This is just an estimate. The car actually doesn't have any sensors. It doesn't actually know how full it is. It's just, you know, a guess based on kind of average driving. So to get that clean, that cost me £160. I took that to Adam at Volts Technic, who did it for me. It's basically too difficult to do, I think, without a lift. People who've been watching this repair series so far will know that I usually detail all the work I do to the car. There's one thing I've not filmed though. When I bought the car, after about 20 minutes of driving, I'd get a clicking noise from the back of the car. And it turned out to be both drive shafts were kind of failing. Now normally I would film this, but because I was starting a new job and didn't have much time, I just had to get it done. So I spent £619 getting that fixed. That's £459 in parts and £125 of labour. Again, Adam did that for me because again, it's very difficult to do without a lift in my opinion. Then all the stuff on the rear windscreen to sort out. So the wiper arm was £30, washer pump was £9, repairing the split washer hose was about £10 in parts, and finally new glass so that the right wing mirror heats was just under £13. So that's £708.48 in parts, and a further £285 for Adam's help, making a total of £998.48 for repairs. I estimate all that work will take about 14 hours. So if you ask an independent garage to do the work for you and they charge around £50, that would make a further £425. BMW parts and labour for all this comes to, brace yourselves, £5,192, mainly due to the fact that the drive shafts cost £1,800. And also they won't clean your DPF, they'll only fit a new one, which is £1,200. Next up, it's maintenance. As you know, the manufacturer publishes a schedule of when certain items should be cleaned or replaced to keep the car in good working order. All these items were due on this car. Engine oil and filter, that's usually done every 20,000 miles, that cost me £54. The fuel filter, which needs doing every 15,000 miles, cost me £20. The engine air filters and the cabin filters, only doing every 2 years roughly, they were £15 each. Gearbox fluid was £30 and the gearbox filter was £71. The differential fluid was £31. 6 glow plugs was £83. Power steering fluid £13, and the new water pump was £93. Coolant also needs changing every 4 years, but that was done as part of the repair work. So for all those parts, I paid £422.42p. I estimate that's about 9 hours work. So for an independent garage, the cost would be just under £900, and BMW will charge you just under £1,800 for parts and labour. On to consumables. I define this as items that wear out. So I bought 4 new tyres for the car, £323. The fitting, £72. Replaced the wiper blades on the front, just under £16. Whole braking system, pads, discs, fluid, sensors, hoses, £509. And I replaced the low beam bulbs, the ones that are brighter, which was £10. So in total, that's £930. That's about 4 hours work to do all that. An independent garage will charge you £1,080. BMW, just under £1,700. Which brings us on to cosmetic works. So these are non-essential. These are items that just make the car look better. I'm including it because that's what I spent, but you wouldn't necessarily need to do this work. So the black performance grille, £37. Bumper inserts, £10. New alloy wheels cost me £496. Now, as mentioned in the previous video, I changed those because the existing ones needed a refurb. So I would have had to spend money getting those refurbed. And one wheel had a crack in them. If I'd hunted around and found a used alloy, that probably cost me about £60. So I could have spent that instead of the £496, but you know, that's what I wanted to do. And new wheel hub centres for those, £20. So in total, £562. Which brings me to the totals. I'm ignoring the cosmetic costs at this stage because they're optional. So I spent £2,351 in parts repairing this car. If you'd gone to an independent, it'd be roughly £1,000 more. And if you'd gone to BMW, they would have charged you £8,618 for all the work and labour. If you consider I bought this car for £4,000, that makes the total I spent £6,350, going to an independent garage £7,375, and BMW £12,618. So on to the actual question then. Is buying a used BMW 5 Series a money pit? Well, clearly it's not worth taking it to BMW to repair. £8,000 bill on a £4,000 car seems ridiculous. I spent £2,350 doing all the repairs on this car, excluding the cosmetic bits. And that was more than I was expecting to pay. But it's my fault for buying a car that wasn't as well maintained as it should have been. You know, if I'd looked around a bit harder or spent a little bit more money, then maybe I could have got one that already had this work done. But let's look at the total cost of ownership over a period of 3 years. The cost of this car was £4,000. So if you keep this car for 3 years, you'd expect to get some percentage of that money back. So let's say £2,000 back. With an independent garage doing repair work at a cost of £3,400, that makes the total cost of ownership £5,400. Over 3 years, that's £1,800 a year, so about £150 a month. Bear in mind this is a fairly prestigious executive car, so not an unreasonable cost. What else could you get for £150 a month? But in reality, if you were paying someone else to repair this car, there's probably a few things you wouldn't bother getting repaired. For instance, all the rear wiper stuff, the rear washer, the hose, you probably just live with it. Looking through the BMW paperwork, I didn't spot that this was noticed and broken in 2013, so clearly the previous owners thought it wasn't worth repairing either. And there's a few things I did that was preventative maintenance, such as the water pump, which you probably wouldn't bother doing, you just wait for it to go wrong. If I had to give one piece of advice on buying a car like this, don't drive the car first, look at the paperwork, go through all the receipts, see what work's been done, and start from there. And that gives you a way of kind of leveraging what you feel this car is worth, considering how much I had to spend to repair what was broken. My main costs were the 2 drive shafts at £619, so definitely make sure that that's been done if you're looking at a car with this kind of mileage. There are still things that could go wrong with this car, of course. One of the things I've not noticed a receipt for are the 4 shock absorbers. So they're probably going to start wearing out at some stage, and that'll be a cost of £500 when they do. For me though, I'm happy with this purchase. I like BMWs, I love how the car looks, I really enjoyed driving the car, and I've really enjoyed repairing the car. You know, now I think I should have a fairly reliable car for at least 3 years or so. Plus, you know me, if I bought a car with nothing wrong with it, I wouldn't have had much content for this channel, so there you go. And if you're interested in watching me do some of these repairs, click the link up here for my playlist and you'll see me go through it all. Next time on Road and Race. Whilst I've highlighted a few things to look out for in this video, my next video will be a full buyer's guide for an E60, E61 BMW 5 Series. I'll detail the common faults, what to look out for when buying one, and what options the car could have come with. If you're watching this in a few weeks' time, you'll be able to click the box at the top right to watch it. And as always, thanks for watching.